Hi, welcome everyone, and thank you for joining us for today's training session on our new networking and mentoring platform called HuskyLink. My name is Mary Malerba, and I'm Assistant Director for Alumni Relations here within the Center for Career Development. My role is all about connecting alumni and students to talk about all things career, and so I'm very excited to be able to walk you through this platform today, along with my co-presenter, Lee. And Lee, if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself as well.
Hi, everybody. My name is Lee Hamroff. I'm an associate director within the Center for Career Development at UConn. And typically within my role of operations, it would fall under my purview to research, vet, and then procure technologies such as People Grove, or what we're referring to as HuskyLink. So great to be here and to share some information on this product with you all.
Awesome. Thanks, Lee. All right, so very quickly, I'm just going to run through today's agenda. I know we've got a short session, so quick 30 minutes with you all today. So we want to be able to make the most of our time. We're going to kick things off by going through just what is HuskyLink, why should you use it, why should our students use it, and what is it involved. Then we're going to go through really the majority of today's session, which is going to be the demo of the platform. So we're going to walk you through how to get started with creating your profile, how to use this to build a network, how to share and view career opportunities as well as resources. And then we're going to wrap up with some next steps and quick tips for you all as you get started in this new platform. And then we'll wrap up with Q&A. If you do have questions throughout the presentation, feel free to throw those in the chat. We'll do our best to keep an eye on it as we're moving, but we'll also make sure to come back to those at the end as well if there's anything that you have questions on. So let's get started. So what is HuskyLink? So as I mentioned, this is our networking and mentoring platform. It is brand new for us. So we just launched it in January 2023. So just 2 months ago now. And this is really designed to support meaningful conversations between students and alumni, whether it's a quick 15-minute discussion, whether it's a short message through the platform, or even some longer-term mentoring relationships. This platform is really designed to make it easier for our community members here at UConn to connect. You may have been a part of the platform we used previously, which was called Husky Mentor Network. So similar in many ways, but this will have some additional options for you all in terms of having those conversations and being able to use the various tools. What's great is that everything will happen in the platform itself. So there's no need to give out personal information in order to interact with other users. Everything will happen right in the platform as far as meetings, conversations, and all of that good stuff. As far as what you can do in the platform with other users, so there's quite a few tools that you'll be able to take advantage of. The first one being virtual one-on-ones. So you can request to have appointments with other users who are in the platform. You can also send and receive messages. So I know some users prefer to just kind of send messages back and forth. So that's something that you'll have the ability to do through this. There's also a space for creating and joining groups, as well as having some discussion boards within those groups. So if you wanted to share some news, post a question, respond to questions that others have, groups are a really great place to connect with users who have a similar interest area or area that at UConn that you're a part of. It's a great place to be able to connect. We also have the opportunity to use this platform for mentorship programs, and it's not something that we're launching necessarily right now, but just for your awareness, it is a capability that the system has to have a more structured mentoring program where you're sort of matched and have a set number of maybe connection points you're going to have in a given time period. So the platform does have those capabilities to it. And then finally, there's also the options to search for some job opportunities. So you can search through the opportunities that we sort of have funneling into the system that are specifically for the UConn community. And then as users of the platform who are in sort of the mentor space, you can also post opportunities as well. So jobs and internships are something that you all could add to the system for students as well as other alumni to be able to view and apply for. And then finally, there's a whole host of career resources in here that are really great for checking out as far as industry areas, career paths, and all of that good stuff as well. Now, why join? So on the student side, this is a really great entry point for students to be able to start creating their network. Some of our students are coming to us from a background of maybe just not having career mentors or career contacts, either who are easily accessible to them or maybe not accessible to the industries or job areas that they're interested in. So HuskyLink provides a really great way for them to be able to easily find potential contacts, to reach out, and to really kind of get their feet wet when it comes to the networking space. This platform will also offer opportunities for them to be able to get some job insights. So either through the resources that are offered through the platform or that our center is creating, or really primarily through being able to connect with all of you for some firsthand knowledge about industries and jobs and your journeys. That's going to be a really great resource for our students. And then finally, of course, career guidance and opportunities. So this is a really big one for students as well. This is going to be a place where they can sort of turn to all of you to kind of get some guidance really at anywhere in the career stage that they're at, whether they're still exploring, whether they're searching for opportunities actively and maybe have questions about resumes, interviews, elevator pitches, you name it. All the way to actually starting their first job or their first internship, or if they're sort of later on in that process, maybe it's not their first job, but they're a few years out and looking for some additional advice. This is going to be a great place for them to be able to come to you all and capture that. Now, on the alumni side, if you're an alumni or even faculty or staff member, someone who's going to be coming into this platform to be in sort of the mentor space, this is a great platform to join to be able to make a difference. To be able to give back to students is an awesome thing. I know our students are very curious about what happens next, what happens next for them after UConn, where are others going? What have all of your journeys been like? They're very curious and very interested to know. And so the impact that you all can have on the next generation of UConn grads is huge. And what I'd also like to note with that is that there's no experience required. So if you've never been a mentor before, it's absolutely fine. You're still very welcome to join this platform, start honing those mentorship skills. Or if you've been a mentor for many years on end, this is for all of you. If you're an alum, if you're faculty, staff, you can absolutely join this and contribute and give back to our students. Some other great benefits of this platform is it gives you a chance to hire Huskies. So again, if you want to post job opportunities or internships specifically for UConn talent, this is a space that you can do that and where our students and fellow alums will be able to view that and apply. And then finally, you can build your own network. So with other alumni, you'll actually also be able to reach out to them through this platform to, potentially gain your own career advice, but to also just to make other connections in the industry and across the UConn community as well. Right. And so now we're just going to dive in and actually show you what this platform is all about. I'm going to actually turn things over to Lee so he can kick it off with our demonstration.
Sorry, I was just looking for the unmute button. I should have the correct screen up in front. What you can see right here is just our career website. The People Grove or HuskyLink platform that we're referring to this as can be accessed through the main page of our website just by clicking on a button here. So getting started with this platform is really easy for both students and alums, or even just faculty and staff or friends of the community. So you can click on HuskyLink here and it's going to take you to a page with some information that's pointed for general use and then also for students and alums. If you scroll down to the bottom and click on the alumni login button, it's going to take you to our landing page for this technology. Oops, sorry, let me sign out first. It'll take me directly through since I'm already signed in. But it will take you to a landing page that we have on a website, which is UConn.peoplegrove.com. And on this page, there is, again, information for both individuals that are signing up as students and or alums. There's also a FAQ section at the bottom. So if you're wondering what this is all about, you can read that and figure out, a couple of the frequently asked questions that relate to this. In terms of setting up a profile for this platform, we've invited a number of different alums and all of our students and various stakeholders to this platform. So there is the opportunity to basically just activate an account versus start one from scratch. It really makes no difference. The platform itself will guide you through that process, whether or not you've been preloaded into it or not. If you want to sign up for the platform, you can click the sign up button or the join today button, both take you to the same place. And it's important to note for alums that are signing into the platform, you can really sign up in two different ways. You can integrate your current LinkedIn information so that you don't have to put in a bunch of additional information. It will take your education information, employment history, all of that type of stuff, and automatically populate that. Or you can just go ahead and sign up with email and start the process that way. So it really just depends on what you'd like to do. When I set up my my platform in here, I actually just did my email and manually entered the information that I wanted to include. Once you actually go through this process, it will give you access to the platform, and then you can further update your profile inside. But I'm actually just going to fill this out really quickly. If you just put your first name and information in here, and then establish a password and agree, you can create the account that way. It's going to guide you through a bunch of different questions as you get started to make sure that, you know, at the very least, you do have some profile information once you get in. The thing that's important is right off the bat, it's going to ask whether or not you're a student, an alum, a faculty and staff member within this community, or just a friend of the community. We do invite from time to time individuals that are part of, you know, local businesses or organizations that we work with to be mentors or friends of UConn students within this community. But you just click next, and then it'll guide you through a bunch of different things. It's going to ask you questions such as, you know, what might drive you. These are questions that are going to relate then to interests that maybe students have, so that the algorithms within the platform can, you know, better match you. You're going to enter in, you know, what you studied. And these are actually not necessarily matched directly to what majors we have in UConn, but these are areas of study just kind of generally. You can put all of that information in here. You can also, you know, isolate out the industries that you have experience in, and so on and so forth. So the more you put into this platform in the front end, the more likely it is that a student will be able to find you based on the interests and the things that you've put in here. What I'm going to do now is actually just hop into an established profile. Whoops, I gotta sign out here, but hop into something that's already been created so that you can see this. Once you're done with that registration process, it's going to just ask you a few things in addition once you get here to the front page. But I am just going to sign into an established profile right now. So when you arrive on the home page for your alumni account, you're going to see on the home page a bunch of different things that you can continue to add into the profile. The more you add to the profile, again, the better. But if you were to just click on some of these buttons, like update what career stage you're at or what drives you, you can continue manipulate that information. Up here in your profile section, you can click on this and see how many or what percentage you are with your profile. Obviously, the closer to 100%, the better. Again, the more stuff you have in your profile, the better, because that will populate content for students and integrate your information throughout the platform, which is important. If you did want to integrate your LinkedIn data, you can actually do that right here. I actually have in this profile it connected with LinkedIn. So if I just wanted to refresh, so if I made changes in LinkedIn, I could refresh that, and those would be integrated into my People Grove or HuskyLink platform profile. All of the career information that was loaded from LinkedIn is in here, so you can see how long this is. It's all of the stuff I also have in LinkedIn. And down here, you can, you know, adjust your hobbies and things like that as well. You can put in your gender identity, racial and ethnic identities, and additional information as well. What's also important to note about your profile is you have a lot of ability to manage preferences such as notifications or privacy or your availability for the platform. We want to make sure that this is something that's useful for alums, that they're not getting inundated with requests, or that they can use this in the manner that best suits them. Some of us, well, all of us are very busy, so we want to make sure that we're being able to give to this platform, but do it in a way that makes sense for us. So you can adjust all of the notifications. So however you want to receive information about what's going on in the platform. You can adjust privacy settings, such as if you don't want anybody to find your profile at the moment, you can hide that. Your availability, if you want to, offer unlimited meetings availability with students, you can do that, or you can adjust that to, I only want to do it, twice in a month or whatever it is. And then down here, you also have the ability to utilize either the calendaring management within the platform. So you can set up times that you're available by just doing that directly into the platform. And then, people will be able to see what your availability is if they want to try to schedule a meeting with you. Or you can also sync in a personal calendar from iCloud, Google, Microsoft Exchange, or so on and so forth. So you do have a lot of ability within this platform to manage your preferences and make sure that it's set up in the way that you would like it to be. And then again, every time you log in as an alum, it's going to give you an opportunity to continue to update your profile, sort of as it would like maybe in LinkedIn or some other platform. But that is the very basics on how to get your profile in there. If there's anything you want to add, Mary, please do, but I think we go on to the next part.
There we go. Sorry, didn't unmute. So, okay, hopefully I'm now sharing my screen, although it's not showing me which one it is. So can you tell me, are you able to see HuskyLink on my screen or no?
No, we're seeing your desktop.
You are. Okay, how about this one? That works.
That's it.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so now that you've got your, all of the information you need to get your profile started, the first place that I want to show you within the platform, as far as the things you can do, is the connection space. And there's a few different options as far as connecting that are within this platform. The first is going to be the community, and this is where you can find and reach out to alumni who are in the system, as well as faculty, staff, and other community members who have profiles. You won't be able to search for students who are within the system, but the students will be able to search for all of you, as well as others who fall within the alumni, faculty, staff, community member can all see each other in there as well. There are a few different ways that you can search for individuals to connect with. Very first thing you're going to see on this community page are suggestions from HuskyLink as far as users you can reach out to. It's going to start it off with users who are either online now or who are recently online, so that if you wanted to connect with someone who is live and in that platform very recently, you could do so. If you scroll down, HuskyLink will also make other suggestions of individuals to reach out to, which is going to be curated based on what you've entered in your profile, as well as if you were to take the matching quiz, it'll sort of pull some suggestions based on those things. And the matching quiz you can actually access here as well as in your settings area. This will go through just a few quick questions about, folks you might like to reach out to based on geographic location, industries, job functions, or even topics that the person is willing to speak to others about. And you can see here on my page, HuskyLink has sort of curated this pool of folks here who have majored in political science and government. So based on my profile, it's sort of pulled together some suggestions here based by major. There are some other options for searching for individuals to connect with as well that are a little bit more user driven. And so this is going to be based on this search criteria up here. This will give you the chance to either search for user by name. You can search for users who you contacted before. So if you're trying to find someone that you want to reconnect with, you could go into this area here to see users you've connected with before. You could also search based on a variety of other criteria. So things like industries that these individuals have worked within, you could check off these. topics that they'd be willing to discuss. So all of the mentors who are in the system are able to sort of say, these are the conversation topics I'm willing to chat with students and other alums about. So you could browse through this. You can also actually select hobbies of interest. So if there's a particular hobby or interest area to connect on, there's that. As well as things like, again, job function, degree types, geographic location, majors while they were at UConn, or maybe even in any post UConn schools they've attended. And then, of course, the user type. So let's say I was a student and I wanted to connect with an alum. I could specify in here that I'm trying to reach a UConn alum and see what options come up. Once I've selected criteria, another option I would have is to actually be able to set an alert so that anytime new users enter the platform that meet this criteria, you'd be able to get an alert on whatever frequency you decide. So that way you can see any new users who meet that criteria. So that's a really great feature to have access to as well, as far as just building your network and being able to reach more users. And then the last thing I want to show you as far as searching for users, there are two ways you can sort of view the individuals that are coming up on this page. So this is the card view, and then we also have a map view. And the map view is pretty cool because it'll show you where users are geographically, and then you can still see if you want to filter through there. You can kind of see, where all the alums and mentors are in this platform. And if I wanted to say, look for environmental sciences specifically or accounting, I could apply that, and then it will update this map to show me, UConn users who are in the system, who are in, those particular areas, which is kind of nice. So that's where you can kind of search for individuals as far as, finding folks to connect with in the platform. I'm just going to go back to the card view real quickly and show you sort of next up what this would look like. So let's say I wanted to find another user to connect with. I've got Lisa's profile here. You can actually open up the profile and view, things that they've input, like Leah talked about as far as experiences, what they're willing to talk about, job functions, all of that good stuff. If someone wanted to connect with Lisa, you can hit this message Lisa button here. And HuskyLink will actually offer some suggested templates of content so that if let's say you're a student who you've never reached out to someone before, you're kind of looking for an example on, what you might say. These templates in here really help make this easier for someone who's just getting started and just having some content here to kind of build off of. Of course, we always recommend that students tailor it, but there's some pretty great content in here for them to sort of get started with creating these connections. Now, aside from sending a message, the user could also request a meeting. So you could either send a message, request a meeting, or both. If you wanted to request a meeting, what it will do is populate a calendar. If Lisa had, some pre-populated times that she was available for, you'd be able to see those and select them, or you can request a time and just suggest one that you might be available for. You can kind of just go through and select the date, how it is that you'd like to meet, as far as whether it's a video call through the platform, a phone call through the platform, or in person. And then you can also select the meeting duration. So you could do it within a 15-minute increment, going from either 15 minutes all the way up to an hour. You could suggest, fill in a time here that you'd like to suggest, and then go ahead and request that meeting. Now, after a meeting occurs, so if a student were to say, reach out, or a fellow alum were to reach out and request a meeting, you have the meeting, you will have an opportunity after the meeting happens to be able to provide some feedback. So if it was a great meeting, that's awesome. You can indicate that. But if you also had any questions or concerns that had come up throughout the meeting, you can also indicate that through the feedback space as well. And then our team would be able to see that and offer some support if needed. Now, the next area I want to show you in this connection space, I'm just going to go back here to the community area, into this connection area. The next place I want to show you are the groups. So we do have some pre-established groups within this platform already. It's likely that we'll see more kind of popping in here as we continue to grow the platform. But this is essentially what the groups would look like. I'm just going to go into this one really quickly as an example. But what you would see here are, for example, all of the members who are a part of the platform, or who are part of the group and who have shown as visible with their profile would show in this. So you could see other members and connect with them this way, just like I showed you as far as sending messages, connecting through a meeting. You'd also be able to interact through the discussion board. And so this is a place where you can contribute through posting information, sharing questions, things like that, as well as responding to questions and information that other users are sharing. It's a great place to kind of have some of those group discussions held through here. And then there's also group specific resources that would be accessible to you through this as well. So this is just one of those other places where you can, on a broader level, find other users to connect with who have a similar interest area or area of connection here at UConn. Okay, and then Lee, I'm going to turn it back to you.
Okay. In interest of time, I'll probably spend just a few minutes going through what I think are some of the really nice features or additional features of this platform. Is, you know, the community and the connections with other alums and students connecting with alums is really the meat of what this, you know, platform is designed to do. But there are some really cool features in here as well. Within the career section, you can browse through job opportunities. These job opportunities actually are fed into the platform through a company called Way Up, which specializes in providing internships and entry-level job opportunities for college students that are in school still or are graduating soon. So those are in here, as well as we're able to feed in from our Handshake platform jobs. And then the third way that jobs get in here is that alums can post jobs into the system. So any one of the alums can do that, and then we can approve that job to be posted here. One of the cool things about the job section that you'll see is if there is a position where somebody has worked at that company that is in here, that will show. So if you clicked on, you know, some of these here, this is a job actually at University of Wisconsin-Madison, but we can see Fred here with somebody that actually works at that employer that was associated with UConn or is an alum of UConn. So there's a lot of cool opportunities within the search to get connections and to start building a network and rapport if you are interested in a various job or company in itself. The other cool aspect of this career area is career paths. These are like module-based opportunities where individuals can learn about, I'm not sure why it's taking a little, oh, there it goes, where individuals can learn a little bit about, sorry, they're not module-based, they're research-based, you know, portions of the platform here where individuals can learn about various careers. So this is similar content that we may have for students in other places on our website. But the really cool thing about this is once you start clicking into some of these areas that are matched based on areas of study, hobbies, or again, essentially the things that you've put into this platform about yourself, you can start to see that it's going to populate content from the actual platform. So when you look at software developers, you might see some information in here that connects you to the opportunities that are currently in the platform for software developers, and then also people in the platform who actually are software developers. So you can connect with them or view their profiles instantly. So that is a really cool aspect of this area here in the career section. In addition to that, the resources hold a couple of cool things as well, and I'll just highlight pathways and articles and videos. The pathways are the module-based elements where individuals can learn about career development and kind of hone their skills in certain areas. These pathways are produced or generated some by the vendor, but mostly by our office. When somebody goes into this section, there might be some pathways that are actually assigned to them. So we can assign to various groups to go through some stuff. For example, Mary and I had pathways from the vendor that were assigned to us so that we could train and learn about the system. The other part of the resources section are articles and videos that I wanted to point out. We are able to populate the platform along with the vendor with blogs or videos or things that are pertinent for career development purposes for both alums and students. So that is the very quick overview of that section. I'll hand it back to Mary. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Lee. Can you see my screen again? Okay, perfect.
Yep.
So just to quickly wrap up, just want to go through some next steps for you all. If you haven't already been there, I would say go to HuskyLink, claim your account. going to send a follow-up email after today's presentation so that you have this recording as well as a link to be able to access the platform should you need it. So get in there, develop your profile, and start connecting. We do have a couple of tips for you as far as you're getting started, some things to keep in mind. So of course, when you go in, set up your profile, do also set up your calendar and availability so that folks can reach out to you. We also recommend, being mindful of the fact that folks are going to be reaching out. So as far as a response time, it would be great to aim to reply to others within 3 days. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean you have to have the virtual meeting within 3 days, but if they reach out with suggesting a meeting time or have a question, send a message, things like that. Aim to be checking your notifications so that you don't miss out on any of those connections, and try and offer some sort of a timely response back for those folks. And then finally, keep your profile updated. So once you initially create it, that's awesome. But from there, if you have job changes, education changes, or just other information that you want to continue to add and update on your profile, definitely go ahead and do that so others can see what it is that you're up to. One of the last things I just want to mention before we take questions and close out is that we do have an upcoming event related to this session in just a couple of weeks. So we are going to be doing a session called The Art of Mentorship, Creating Meaningful Connections. It is going to go it's going to cover the ins and outs of how to navigate the mentor-mentee relationship, different types of mentor-mentee relationships and interactions, strategies for developing mentoring skills, as well as resources that are available to students here at UConn, so that if you're an alum who maybe isn't as familiar with those resources and you're interacting with a student, you kind of know where to point them to if it's helpful and needed. So definitely check that out. It's going to be Thursday, April 6th. I'll include the registration information for that in the follow-up email as well. Very quickly, does anyone have any questions for either Lee or I today about HuskyLink? I haven't seen anything come through in the chat, but if you have those questions, feel free to go ahead and unmute or add it to the chat right now. I'll hold on for a few seconds here to give you a chance to do that. Okay, not seeing anything come through yet. Okay, I'm going to take that as a no, that there are no questions. But should you think of anything after today's session, definitely feel free to reach out to either Lee or myself. We would just like to thank you for your time today and for joining us for this session and for your interest in connecting with students, alumni, and members of the UConn community through HuskyLink. We hope to see you on the platform. If you're not there yet, hopefully soon. And definitely keep in touch. Let us know if you have questions and enjoy using the platform. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you for your time.